Good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from rainy San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are rocking and rolling today. Have you seen the movie Gladiator? Many of you have, and I'm going to be referring back to this today. I also intend to do something different today. Yesterday, my sweet bride commented during yesterday's video and said, hey, you know, when people chime in, you should give them a shout out. And I said, well, the challenge with that is I don't look at the phone in detail. I may glance in the area. I don't look at the phone in detail, and because I'm driving, because my focus is on the road. So hopefully you guys understand that. However, I do catch a quick name like that, I'll give a shout out just because I think it is cool. Tammy, good morning. I saw Tammy on there. And so there I go. I'm going to do my new thing. Gina, I'm going to say hello. Like Angela said, from time to time, shout out in the videos. I'm grateful and appreciate the audience that comes in the morning because I know you are a unique bunch in that you're willing to experience the sting of truth being dispensed at a level that is ridiculously pure. It is very hard to be around those conversations. I ain't got no time for BS. Bologna sandwich, my single friends. I ain't got no time to BS. So we're going to go hard in the paint today. Men, as you know, I have been doing, I've been doing a video a day every day for over 2 years. In the last week, I've been focused on men primarily in the Man Up series. And I intend to take it a little bit further. Then I'm going to do a switcheroo. In October, I'm going to go hard in the paint for the ladies. This should be very interesting. Good morning, Brother David. Love you, man. I'm going to go hard in the paint with the ladies. Angela said, that's really scary ground. And I said, as if I don't walk on it now. And she goes, all right. So I'm looking forward to the Woman Up coming up in October. Men, Commodus or Maximus? Commodus or Maximus? The bad news is there is no middle ground. You are either walking in the way of Commodus or you are walking in the way of Maximus. If you remember the movie Gladiator, there were two completely different roles entrusted to these two men. Commodus was the birth son of Marcus Aurelius, who was, of course, the emperor, the Caesar, the ruler in Rome at that time. Maximus, Decimus, was the commander of the Felix legions, the army, if you will, of Rome. One man had positional leadership, and that was Commodus. Commodus was a positional leader. He was born into the purple color. He was born into that royalty. So there was a respect that was forced upon those around him based on the fact that he had a title. Maximus, on the other hand, earned the respect of his men and the others in the kingdom at that time, not because of his title. He earned his respect because of his reputation. Maximus or Commodus, which are you? Let's explore their leadership styles momentarily. Commodus was a toxic leader who had a thirst and a hunger for power, who self-described his primary goal, and what he said, this is my greatest quality, which was ambition. And the challenge with perverted ambition, meaning crooked ambition, is that crooked ambition will compromise principles on the altar of convenience without regard to a standard of ethics, and will use people and love things instead of loving people and using things. You see, Commodus was a toxic leader whose thirst for power and respect came at the cost of those subject to his leadership. You see, Commodus cared more about Commodus than he did about the people. Now let's switch to Maximus. Maximus was the epitome of what we would call a modern servant leader. Maximus was a man who came alongside his brothers and companions and did not point a finger and command them to go to war. He was a man who came alongside his warriors and went to war with them, and in fact led on many occasions. He was a servant leader. He cared more about his people than his position. He was highly respected because of his principles. He did not compromise his principles or convictions on the altar of convenience. He did not have a flaky morality. He knew what he stood for, and he stood for it, willing to pay the price for what he believed in, even with his own life. In fact, when offered the kingdom by Marcus Aurelius, he said, "No, I don't want it." And Marcus Aurelius said, "That's the very reason why you deserve it. That's the very reason why I want you here, because you don't want it." Men, Commodus or Maximus? Are you in your marriage, are you a Commodus or a Maximus? Watch the movie with your wife and ask her the hard question. Honey, am I fighting for you? Am I fighting for us? Am I fighting to be a great father? Am I fighting, laying my life down, sacrificing, working harder, coming in earlier, staying longer, getting more educated? Am I fighting for, laying my life down for you and the kids to create a great environment and home and opportunity for you to grow and become all God created you to be? Am I laying my life down for you as a servant leader? Ask your wife the hard question. And then ask her, honey, am I Commodus? Am I living for myself? Am I selfishly pursuing my own ambitions and my own goals and my own dreams and my own vision, forsaking those who have entrusted their lives to my leadership and responsibility? Am I loving the things I'm after and using you? Or am I loving you and using resources to accomplish what I can for my family? Honey, am I more like Commodus or am I more like Maximus? Ask your wives this question. Why will 98% of you not? Because you already know the answer. And guess what? I don't judge you. I don't fault you for it. I was Commodus throughout my entire teenage life until I wound up laying down on my back, strapped to a gurney, detoxing in the Texas State Hospital here in San Antonio, Texas, a dead and dying, suicidal, bipolar, manic depressive drug addict whose high school sweetheart was pregnant with another man's child while I was detoxing, dying, coming to the end of that Commodus life of living for myself only, and having that literal come to Jesus for me to be able to say, you know, if I look for my life, I'm going to lose it. If I lose my life for his sake and dedicate it to him, I'm going to find it. It was 28 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I don't fault you for being a Commodus, 20-something, 30-something, maybe even 40-something guy. You know why? Because you were raised by a bunch of people who were trying to do the best when they gave you a reward for coming in 8th place, when they didn't want you to get your feelings hurt when you did bad on a test, when they wanted to sign you up for the league where everybody's a winner, little Johnny. Everybody's a winner, little Johnny, because we don't want little Johnny to have, issues with his self-esteem. So, we're going to sign him up in this so everybody's a winner, Johnny. No, little Johnny, you figured out pretty damn quick. Ain't everybody a winner. You a loser, you're going to lose. Ain't nobody at your work going to say, oh, your work really sucks, Johnny, but we don't want you to feel bad. So you know what? We're just going to pay you anyway, and you get to stay here and work, even though your work sucks, Johnny. No, ma'am. No, sir. Don't work like that. I'm sorry, guys. Youngsters, you guys were sold a bill of goods. You guys were sold a bunch of crap. that everybody's just, it's fine. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And your feelings didn't get hurt enough for you to change. Then you stepped into the real world and you realize this world works on deserve, not need or want. And you only get out of it what you put into it. So I get why you're in Commodus mode. Here's the good news I leave with you today. You get to decide if you're going to stay there. Are you going to be that positional leader that takes advantage of people around you and uses people and loves things instead of loving people and using things? Are you going to be that toxic leader who manipulates and controls with that ugly psychological manipulation and verbal and mental abuse? Are you going to be that guy who walks in self-deception and says, but I'm doing it for us? Yeah, but you're never here for us. You're so busy trying to do it for us, you're not here for us, and we want you, not the stuff you're going to do, and we'd rather have a meal of vegetables with love than a fatted calf with hatred and dissension. We don't want Commodus. We need Maximus. This generation does not need more Commodus men. It needs more Maximus men. Men, who are you? You're either one or the other. The good news for you today is you can decide to step out of Commodus and step into Maximus by choosing to man up, accept responsibility for everything entrusted to your care, make no excuses anymore for the issues going on around you. Fix it, man. Fix it. Nobody's going to do it for you. Commodus or Maximus. You're one of the two. Figure out who you are. And if it's not who you intend to be the change. Have a great day, guys.